Habits are the most important thing as an entrepreneur. If you ever want to become a millionaire, these 3 habits will be super important to help you get there. So as an entrepreneur, having habits in place will help you become a lot more successful. And I know you're going to think like, okay, here we go again. We're going to talk about habits. We're going to talk about do this, do that. You're going to become rich. Well, no, it's not really that easy, right? At the end of the day, if you want to become good at anything, you have to have habits, right? And habits are what builds an entrepreneur. And habits, it's also what builds anybody else around you, right? Literally anything you are trying to become or accomplish, or even just a small task that you're trying to do. Now, the next few ones that I'm about to share, I think are some of the most important habits that anybody can build. You can use these 3 habits in any way, shape, or form. You can also dissect them in any way, shape, or form. Regardless, they will help you in any sense of the way with anything that you're trying to build. So the first habit that I believe is super important, and I actually feel like it was one of the most difficult ones, was getting rid of distractions. You might think, well, that sounds kind of easy. Well, believe it or not, it's actually kind of difficult to a lot of people. I was never diagnosed with ADHD or anything like that, but I tend to get distracted very, very, very easily. Like, I will literally be having a conversation with you right now. You're telling me how you had such a great time, you were on this vacation, and I'm literally thinking about something else. Like, I literally sometimes can't even focus having a conversation with somebody. Like, that's how hard it was for me, right? Obviously, like for me, it's a different point of view where I used to be very self-conscious. My confidence was not at the highest. I would subconsciously put myself in a different position so that I don't have to interact, because subconsciously I didn't want to interact, right? There's a whole bunch of different reasons for that. My distraction was really bad. So just imagine somebody who's trying to become an entrepreneur, who tends to get distracted very easily, and you're trying to just sit on the computer to actually work, right? That in itself was very difficult. So I had to put myself in a position where, how can I remove all distractions to be able to work, right? For me personally, I find it that I work very, very well when there's no noise, right? Some people think it's crazy. Some people need music. Some people need a podcast or some type of meditation tone in the back to be able to work. Some people are able to work at Starbucks, for example. I'll be honest with you guys, I hate working at Starbucks. Why? Because there's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of people walking back and forth. There's people talking, people trying to take orders, the espresso machine turning on, the oven turning on and turning off, right? Doors opening and closing, like that's too much for me. You might say, well, why don't you just put your AirPods on or your earphones on? Well, honestly, it was because there's still a lot of movement happening back and forth. And to me, that was still too distractful, right? That's more of a personal thing. I had to develop being able to become more grounded and more present to be able to do that. And some people find that a lot easier. For me, it was very, very difficult. So I had to keep putting myself in positions where I wouldn't be able to get distracted. As I was doing that, it became easier and easier to focus, right? So because it was so hard for me to focus, putting myself in those positions where there was no distractions, that I had no other reason but to focus, then it was very easy to get the work done, right? I personally would love to work at a library. I would either put my earphones on, even if there was no music on. I wouldn't let anybody talk to me if there was people around me. I would put myself in positions where like nobody can distract me, because that was the easiest way for me. That literally took me years to be able to practice that focus, to be able to work, which eventually led to me kind of being able to work while there's noise around me, right? And even till this day, after, I don't know, I would say 7+ years of entrepreneurship, it's still a little bit difficult for me to be able to work, like actually do real work while there's people around me, right? So regardless, that is why I tend to kind of work later on at night when there's no noise, no distractions, right? Everybody has a time. They either work very early, some people are able to work during the day, even if when there's distractions, etc. Right? So if you are able to master getting rid of distractions, whether that is putting yourself in a closet, or maybe not going to Starbucks, or maybe Starbucks is your place, right? Maybe that noise is able to help you focus. If you're able to remove the distractions that stop you from working, right? Because it can be anything. It doesn't have to be that you shouldn't be working at Starbucks, for example, or that you have to work at the library. It's just a matter of removing the things that you know are distracting you to not be able to focus. If you can do that, then you'll be able to become a lot more productive, and you'll be able to produce a lot more, which hence will maybe make you some money. Now, the next thing that I would highly recommend anybody would be learn how to leverage your resources. And you guys have probably heard me talk about this because I'm very, very big on this. I think this is one of the most important things as an entrepreneur. And honestly, it's one of the best things that's helped me scale to where I am as an entrepreneur. It might sound crazy. People might sound like, oh, you're using people. Actually, no, you guys are working together, right? I'm being leveraged. I'm also being leveraged, right? My employees have a job, so they're getting paid. My clients are coming in and they're getting a tool that's helping them make money. I have salespeople that are selling my services and they're making money, right? I'm making these YouTube videos. In a sense, you guys are kind of leveraging me because I'm not your mentor, right? But you can always learn something from everybody, from different people. This tool or this skill set or whatever you want to call it that I'm sharing with you right now might actually end up becoming very helpful to you or to a lot of you that could end up creating the reason why you're able to do more, right? It's just leverage. So the minute I learned what leverage was and the minute I knew how to properly use it, my life started changing 100%. Honestly, it was also very difficult for me because me, as I said, somebody who was kind of on the shyer end and having to have a conversation with people, it was very hard for me to ask for help, 100%. Luckily, I got through that. I battled through it. I asked and asked and asked and asked for help as much as I could. And that's really what leveraging is, right? You are literally just asking people for help and you are using their skill sets and what they specialize in to be able to give you and help you with what you need, just like you're using them. Example, if you happen to be a really good salesperson, but you don't have a product or service to sell, what if I told you, hey, I have these courses, I have this business opportunity that I'm trying to sell, but I don't know how to close. I'm gonna leverage you to help me close all these deals. You're gonna leverage me by making money because I'm giving you a tool and a service that you can actually sell to somebody, right? That's all it simply is. Example, I need to get my taxes done. I'm gonna leverage one of the best CPAs that are out there. I'm gonna pay them probably more than I would pay any other CPA, but they're probably gonna be able to help me save a lot more money than any other CPA would. Maybe because they are just more skillful in their craft and they understand the tax law better. Simple, right? In my opinion, anything that you do to get something back when you need somebody else or some other business or something, you are leveraging them. You are leveraging their skill sets to be able to benefit you. The next habit that I believe will greatly help you or anybody else is journaling. So journaling, honestly, I personally don't do, but there are different variations of what journaling is. Journaling, all it simply is you have a journal and you're writing down your thoughts, right? It sounds kind of crazy. Some people think it's useless. Some people think it's pointless. There's a lot of people out there who don't journal, right? But there's also a lot of successful people that say that journaling has helped them get to where they want to get because they're putting all their thoughts out there, right? You're putting your thoughts into motion. You're putting your thoughts onto the universe, to God, whatever you guys believe. At the end of the day, it's the same thing, right? When you are journaling and putting your thoughts out there, you're putting them out there for somebody, for something to give you the wisdom or to give you the vision on how to create that. Again, yes, I do not journal, but I do a different variation of that. Journaling is just one of those, right? You can journal, you can meditate, you can visualize. All three of them, you can pray. All four of them are pretty much the same thing, right? You are having these thoughts, you're visualizing what you want to create, trying to get your blood flowing, trying to get your thoughts going, right? All you're doing is putting those thoughts, you're putting those emotions, you're putting those ideas out there. You're having something flow the ideas back into you and trying to put the puzzle together, right? That's really what you're doing. And regardless of what you want to call it, regardless of what you want to see it, it's all for the same benefit, right? There's this other method called the RSF mindset, which was created by Dr. Jason Selk. All it simply is every single day, you visualize for 30 seconds what you want to accomplish that day. And you also visualize for 30 seconds what your life will look like 3 years from now, right? You do that every single day. You read out a little script of what you want to accomplish, what you want to do, how you're going to do that, right? Nothing crazy, nothing long, about a paragraph long. You visualize, you make both those visualizations, and then you read that small paragraph again, right? If you really think about it, that's just a different form of meditation, of praying, of visualizing, of journaling. It's all the same thing, right? And Dr. Jason Selk found out that, and who has helped apply that strategy within their life, has actually gone on to make more for themselves, right? Whether it was something as simple as like missing a pitch, right? He literally talks about how he's helped pitchers help with the visualization on how the pitch should be going, right? It's really something just that simple. You're able to visualize even the smallest things within your craft of whatever you are doing, and you're able to do them better, right? Again, that is a different form of meditation, of praying, of journaling. It's all the same stuff. And I personally love to do the RSF method versus anything else. I try to meditate every single day. You don't need it to become successful, but whether you choose to journal or whether you choose to pray, meditate, visualize, or the RSF mindset, you have a lot better of a chance of accomplishing big goals and becoming a millionaire than anything else. I'm really hoping that if you're able to implement these 3 habits, it will make a huge difference in your life. Again, as an entrepreneur, habits is one of the cornerstones of your personal development journey. And if you are really able to master yourself, and master these 3 skills, I 100% believe that anybody can become a millionaire, and even not even become a millionaire. Anything you want to accomplish, if you implement these 3 habits and you're able to master yourself, there is no reason why you can't do it. Thank you guys again for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe. And if you guys are looking to invest and you want to partner with us, please click the link below and somebody in our team will call you guys.